My name is Muhammad Adisam Choudhury and my University of Hertfordshire ID is 24061053. Today I am giving legal advice to Suleiman, the owner of Haveli House, regarding his recent furniture purchase from Amjad Furniture Store. I will examine his rights and remedies under the Sales of Goods Act 1979, considering whether the goods supplied meet the statutory requirements of description, satisfactory quality and fitness for purpose, with reference to relevant case laws and statutory provisions. The Sales of Goods Act 1979 governs contract for the sale of goods in the United Kingdom. It implies terms into contracts unless they are expressly excluded, creating minimum legal standards that sellers must meet. The relevant provisions here are Section 13, which requires that goods correspond with their description, Section 14, subsection 2, which mandates that goods must be of satisfactory quality, and Section 14, subsection 3, which requires that goods be fit for any particular purpose made known to the seller. Breaches of these implied terms allow the buyer to reject goods, rescind the contract, and claim damages for losses caused. First, the marble table supplied by Amjad Furniture Store raises an issue under Section 13. Suleiman ordered 25 extra large marble tables in grey. Upon delivery, he received 10 medium-sized marble tables, 9 wooden tables, and 1 extra large grey marble table. This clearly fails to correspond with the contractual description. In Arcos Limited versus E.A. Ronasen and Son, the House of Lords held that even minor deviations from the described goods allows the buyer to reject them. Similarly, in Remore & Co. and Laundrer & Co., goods that did not match their contractual description were held to be in breach. Applying these principles, Suleiman is entitled to reject the tables, retreat the contract as repudiated, and claim a refund or damages for non-delivery. Second, that one-handed velvet dining chairs raise concerns under Section 14, subsection 2. Regarding satisfactory quality, although someone disclosed that chairs were ex-display with minor wear and tear, goods must still meet the standard a reasonable person would expect. In Rogers versus Parish, the Court of Appeal held that goods could be rejected if they contained defects affecting their visibility. Upon inspecting the chair, Suleiman discovered grease marks and scruff. If these defects are significant enough to affect the chair's functionality or appearance for a professional dining environment, they may not be of satisfactory quality. Therefore, Suleiman could reject the chairs or request repair or replacement or seek a refund under the Sale of Goods Act. The sofa set introduces the issue of fitness for purpose under Section 14, subsection 3. Suleiman specifically asked whether the leather sofas would irritate the individual with skin conditions, and someone assured him that they would not. The reliance on the seller's skill and judgment engages the implied terms of fitness for purpose in Grant versus Australian Knitting Mills. Underwear causing dermatitis was held unfit for purpose intended. Likewise, in Priest versus Last, a defective hot water bottle breached the same implied term. The fact that Suleiman's daughter developed a red, blotchy rash after using the sofas indicates that the goods were unfit for a specific purpose communicated to the seller. Accordingly, Suleiman can reject the sofa, demand a full refund, or pursue damages for any harms or inconvenience suffered. Delivery performance is also critical. Section 29 of the Sales of Goods Act 1979 requires that goods be delivered in accordance with the contract. The agreed delivery date was 17 September, but Suleiman received incorrect and incomplete items. This constitutes a breach of the contractual terms. Section 15 SGA permits rejection with a reasonable time. Suleiman inspected the goods promptly and notified the seller the following day. Prompt notification ensures that his rights to reject remain valid. Princeton versus Pempson Motors Golden Green Limited demonstrate that a delay in notifying the seller may result in loss of the right to reject. However, Suleiman acted immediately, preserving his statutory rights. Suleiman remedies under the Sales of Goods Acts are extensive. He may reject the defective or non-conforming goods, rescind the contract, and recover the purchase price. He may also claim damages for consequential losses, including any cost or business disruption caused by the delivery of defective goods. Under Section 53 SGA, in cases where minor defects exist. The buyer may accept repair or replacement, but where the breaches are fundamental, as with the tables and sofas, rescission is appropriate. The seller may attempt to rely on exclusion clauses or argue that the chairs were sold as seen. However, Section 6 of the Unfair Contract Terms Act 1977 prevents the exclusions of liability for breaches of statutory implied terms in consumer contracts. Even in commercial transactions, clauses limiting liability must pass the test of reasonableness, considering the defects and misrepresentation regarding the sofa. Any exclusion clause would likely be unenforceable. From a particular standpoint, Sulaiman should reject the goods in writing referencing the statutory provisions of the Sales of Goods Act. He should request a full refund, refuse to pay any outstanding balance, and document all correspondence, photographs, and receipts as evidence. If the store fails to comply, Sulaiman can bring a claim in the county court for breach of contract and recovery of sums paid. The small claims procedure is likely suitable given the nature of the dispute. In conclusion, Sulaiman has strong grounds to reject the marble tables, dining chairs, and sofa sets. The table breach Section 13 as they do not match the contractual description. The chairs may breach Section 14 due to defects affecting statutory satisfactory quality. The sofa breaches Section 14, subsection 3, as it is unfit for the purpose communicated to the seller. Authorities, including Arcos Limited versus E. Ronasan and Son, Rimor and Co., Rogers versus Parrish, and Grant versus Australian Knitting Mills, support this position. Prompt notification of defects ensures Sulaiman's statutory rights to reject remains valid. Therefore, he can confidently reject the good, recover the purchase price, and claim damages, protecting both his business and personal interests. Thank you so much.
बन गई